Hey guys, before this video starts, I just want to show you guys our comments competition winner for this week's YouTube channel. He has some funny gaming content, some random funny vlog type videos, and he has a lot of fun on his channel, and I hope you guys go check out his channel. It'll be linked in the description of this video, so y'all better go check him out right now. I'm waiting. You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, get out of here. Go watch the rest of the video. And go check them out even afterward. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing a analysis let's talk video. I haven't done one of these in a while, by the way. On possible dungeons for hordes. So I think we've all seen the tweet or poll, at least the older players have, that Deck did a while ago with like dungeons and quests, like which of the following do you want like first or soonest? And a lot of people voted for dungeons and quests. And keep in mind that this was, I'm pretty sure, before beta was released, so I am not sure if these things are gonna happen, if this poll is valid anymore. But yeah, so that was released, and something I've noticed on hordes is that there are quite a few locations where an entrance could be, and I'm going to show you guys those. So we have several sarcophaguses on hordes. So we have the rotten sarcophagus on faivel, one in guardstone that kind of looks like it's in like a ritual type area where there's a boss, and then you have another area out in faivel again, kind of like in a corner of a mountain. There's like a ruins corner here, and then there's a sarcophagus here, and specifically the one in guardstone and the big one in faivel, the covers have like slid off, and these could easily be locations where like a dead boss that was buried escaped, or I say maybe it's an opening for a dungeon. So you would go in the sarcophagus, and maybe the bottom is open and it leads to like a tunnel that goes down below it, and you have a whole dungeon in there with a boss, possibly the boss that was in the sarcophagus and just stayed in there, buried out. I mean, it's kind of far-fetched with the sarcophaguses being possible openings, mainly because sarcophaguses usually have like a bottom, like you have the sides are concrete, bottom's concrete, cover is usually the same material, but it can be made out of wood sometimes. So less likely are these gonna be an opening for a dungeon. But we have some even more convincing areas that look like they could be an opening. So at guardstone, where there's kind of like one of the bosses, closer to like the edge-ish of the map on the mountains, you have the castle built in to the mountain, and you can see that there's no official door. It's just kind of like boarded up, like blocked off with stone or something, and it looks like maybe that could be an entrance because there's no door. It's just blocked. So maybe that at some point that'll be cleared out and you can go in, and there'll be like a dungeon built into the mountains, because there's tons of mountains there. So you could totally build a whole dungeon into the mountains. And it looks very convincing to me personally, just because there's no door. It's just locked. Like there's something that's going to be there, but it's not there yet. And doors, from people who have done the map building thing, putting a door is pretty simple. So I think that there was deliberately no door put in just to block it off for now until something else could be put in it. And then you have that in guardstone, and then you also have in faivel, in the mine area where there's like the quarry and there's like all the boards and the stacks of what looks like maybe granite or something with the boards stacked on top of it. You have a kind of like a actual door built into the mountain that I think this leads to a mine. But given that it's built into a mountain, and the mountain has tons of space under it, I'd say that this mine, possibly a boss could be living in it, and this could be turned into a dungeon, because, you know, they're like built into big areas, and big areas are perfect to make a little dungeon in. And I think this specific spot, because it has an actual official door, I don't know, maybe it's gonna be turned into like more like a tavern type thing, but I think with it being built into a big area, it's entirely possible that this could be turned into a dungeon, because big area, it's got a door, and there's no boss specifically in this area, so that would leave you space to put like a new boss in, which, you know, maybe in these dungeons the bosses would drop like only high tier gear. I know that that's been a suggestion with people saying like only, you know, bosses should only drop high tier gear instead of dropping like stupid stuff like a wooden sword. So I think that would be interesting. And then that's one location, and then you also have this location, again a guardstone, and you have the mines there, and the kind of like the entrances to the mines look like there was like a landslide and it collapsed to the mine, and all these rocks came flooding out and just kind of blocked the entrances. But where again this is an entrance built into a big area, like this could be a mine. Maybe you go in there and it's like a mine shaft similar to like a Minecraft, and there's like a mine type monster, and maybe they'll move the kind of like the one out by the sarcophagus, the monster in there, maybe they'll move it into the mine, or just get an entirely new boss like a undead like miner, or undead contractor, because mines are owned by contractors. So I'm not really very knowledgeable on that specifically. I haven't really looked into the lore a lot for that specific part, mainly because there hasn't been a lot of it that we've noticed in the Hordes lore server, which I'll link in the description of this, because we got interesting stuff going on. We're gonna make a movie, and yeah, so I think like a mine type boss in like a mine shaft kind of area, probably like ruins, because if it were like blown up or collapsed, then most likely it would be kind of like falling apart on the inside, and I guess be like very maze-like because of collapsed areas. And it could probably go pretty deep into the ground knowing that it was a mine. And also we have the location at Headless. So we have, this is like a pretty small castle built into like part of a mountain, but the entrance is just kind of like lazily blocked off with pieces of land, and there's like a deck shrine right above it. So it looks like this could easily be another entrance, because built into a mountain, and you know, plenty of space below it. And yeah, so like I keep repeating, the big theme with this is all these locations are built into something big, like a big area, like it's just waiting for there to be something in there. And with this one, it's kind of like a smaller location, so I think if it were to be made into a dungeon, you'd probably have that entrance unblocked off, and there'd probably be like maybe a little bit of a staircase leading down into the mountain a little bit more, like curving in, because it's kind of like, you couldn't just put a dungeon in there, because it's still a pretty small building, and it's built almost like above the mountain, but you could put a staircase in and just have it loop around, and then you have a dungeon, because it's smack dab on the top of a really big hill mountain thing. And that's in Headless. So then again, I believe another Headless location. This one looks more like a ruins than it does anything like that's supposed to have an entrance, because the inside looks like it's a little bit collapsed a bit, and it's built in to another mountain, and it looks like kind of like the stuff was just kind of thrown in there to block it off. Again, like similarly to what some of the other ones looked like, and it kind of looks like it could easily be turned into another dungeon entrance. And there are giant blocks of kind of like what are supposed to be stone, so with the ones that have like stone or something blocking the entrance, rather than the one like in guardstone where it's just like a block of something just straight up blocking the entrance. With these ones, I think that they could, if they were to incorporate lore into this, they could say that it's finally been cleared out. Explorers have decided to venture into these areas in search of high tier items like runes, materials, and finally they've been cleared out, but a beast lies within. Like, I could see that happening. And yeah, so that's pretty much, that's all I've got for you guys on the dungeons. I think very, very, very likely all these areas are too conveniently built into mountains, and given like in Lord of the Rings, this whole kingdom was built into a mountain. So you never know if maybe it's just gonna be like entrance to another realm or something. But where back all those months ago, before beta was released, dungeons and quests being like the big thing that people really, really, really wanted, I think that it's very likely that if there are ever going to be dungeons on hordes, they're going to be built into those mountain locations, because there's just so much space for deck to use, and easily lore can be incorporated into it. So please give us lore, we need more. And yeah, so it definitely be very similar to Realms IO. On Realms, the areas that were supposed to be turned into like a new dungeon or a new area were built into like a mountain, so there'd be plenty of space within for there to be a new area in there. And yeah, so I think common theme, built into a big area, and entrances are conveniently blocked off. So yeah, hopefully you guys found this video kind of interesting. It looks like I'm perfectly 10 minutes, so promotion. But I promise I didn't plan that. But yeah, so definitely dungeons, deck, dungeons, lore, please. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Like the video, because likes are helpful in promoting the videos, and 1K subs, you know, need that promotion to get the channel somewhere again. So yeah. And yeah, subscribing is also helpful. Get us past 666 subscribers, please. I've turned off the rating, not rating, the public display of subscribers, because we have been stuck at 666 or around it for the past like week, and I don't want to egg people on and encourage them to keep it at that by saying that it's 666 so they won't subscribe, or it's at 6665 so they subscribe just to keep it at that, because it's kind of annoying. So yeah, I'll stop ranting. Goodbye guys, stay healthy. See ya.